This is my new wave, y'all. Yeah. Hey, my peeps. This is your girl, Baby Screen Queen. I hope you're doing okay this afternoon, morning, or night, depends on where you live at. Today is another of my top 3 series, but before I get into that, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Hit the notification bell button when I post some new videos, and follow me on TikTok and Instagram under the same name, Baby Screen Queen. So let's just get, okay? Now, last time I talked about my top 3 favorite underrated horror remakes. Okay, that was the last time. But today I'm going to talk about my top 3 underrated horror movies. One is from the 50s, the other one's from the 80s, and the other one is from the 70s. So let's just get started so I won't drag this out. So coming in at number 3 of my top 3 favorite underrated horror movie is 1951's The Thing from Another World. People, I don't understand how people not know about this movie, because my whole thing is, if y'all like The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing with Kurt Russell, you should know about The Thing from Another World, because that is a remake from that movie. And only thing I got to say about this one, the original one, is that it is not, it's horrifying. I mean, it's horror in its own way, not like The Thing from 1982's, or even another remake of 2011, The Thing. It's not like that. But what I love about this one, this movie, is that when you have an alien in an ice, and you accidentally melted the ice with the electric blanket, and knowing that this thing, the 7 foot tall thing, is around the perimeter in Polar Expedition 6, that's where the crew and the scientists are, residing at. That's scary. And not only that, it's like this alien is basically like plant like, vegetable like. So it's like, the question is, can it, be unalive or not? And it needs blood. And with Dr. Carrington, what he did when he found plants and he uses the alien blood into these plants, they have a heartbeat. So it's almost like, in this movie, The Thing from Another World is like scientists versus the military, because you get like Patrick and his military crew trying to find this thing and unalive it, while you have some scientists who want to keep the thing, the alien, alive, just to understand, especially with Dr. Carrington. He wants to understand it, right? But you do have some scientists kind of like, we don't know if this thing is contagious, have any virus, we need to get rid of it. But Dr. Carrington was like gung ho on understanding it, want to talk to it, like the typical trope of a scientist who wants to keep an alien and don't care if the crew are expendable. Right? I want what I want when I want it, and I'm gonna get it. And even like I said, some scientists was on Dr. Carrington's side, but once they realized that this thing had unalived a couple of their people, hanging upside down like a slaughterhouse, as Patrick would say, it's like, now this thing is dangerous. This thing is dangerous. So so they tried, we call it kerosene, which with that said, I was kind of like, was like worried, because I know some of them were burnt. We either got scar marks, like third-degree burn, second-degree burn, and whatnot. If this video is very jerky, I'm sorry, because it's my laptop, so I just need a new laptop. So just hang with me on that. But anyway, they try kerosene. Um, they uh they try everything to make sure that this thing doesn't get into the quarters. But it's like, even though they trying to not to make this thing go into a quarters, it's kind of like, but that ain't gonna work. We got to unalive it. So they decide to electrocute it. And the part where Patrick and his military crew and Scotty, who's a journalist, was at the end of the hallway, like not close to the mess hall, but it's like they kind of, I forgot how many feet they away from the mess hall. But when the thing opened the door, I was like, ooh, ooh, because I haven't seen like the whole thing until like when it came on TCM like 6 years ago, 4 or 6 years ago. Because my father recorded it. Yeah, he recorded it on VHS. The only thing I saw was the ending, and that part scared the crap out of me. Oh, and the other part that scared the crap out of me is when Patrick and a couple of his crew was about to open the door to the green house, and then so what's his name, Chief Bob. Yeah, once he getting ready to shoot the thing, once Patrick opened the door, the thing was right there. I was like, oh, I remember when I first saw that, I jumped back. I'm like, yo, this thing is tall and this thing looks scary to me. And why is this thing jumpy? I'm so sick of it. It's not like the thing in 1982, which I like how they did it, and it's not like the thing in 2011. I really truly do love this thing from another world, and because it's a comfort movie to me. I mean, I will watch it every day, all every day, all every night, and that is like my background noise when I want to work on something. But it's so good, and I'm surprised that people didn't know anything about it. My whole thing, how can you not know anything about it when y'all watched the movie Halloween, when Tommy was watching this movie in the in the movie Halloween. Yeah, like the part where the crew was in a circle trying to see the size, like the size of the ship. They finally found the flying saucer. Yeah, that's from the thing from another world. I mean, it is a good movie. I hope that y'all watch it. My whole thing is like what I'd said about the Blob, Invaders from Mars, and The Last House on the Left. Like, if it's a remake, I gotta watch the original. I know people say I don't gotta watch the original or whatnot, but you got to, cause it's kind of like, okay, if this is a remake from the original, I gotta watch the original to see you know if it's better than the remake or not. Um, so to me, even though the remake, Kurt Russell remake, is good, I'm not honing down on it. It's really good, but I prefer to watch The Thing from Another World. I guess because it's a comfort movie and whatnot. John Carpenter always made comfort movies anyway that you can watch over and over again. I mean, it's like he done it again and again. But with this one, that's my type of horror movie that I like. Just to feel like, is this dude gonna come into my room, into the mess hall, into my office? What? But so that is my number three of 1951's A Thing from Another World. Coming in at number two of my top three favorite underrated horror movie is 1982's The Entity. Now, fun fact, y'all probably saw a clip on my TikTok and Instagram. I did do a movie review of this movie a while back, and I'm surprised that nobody isn't talking about it. And I love the movie, but freaking me out. It's freaking me out, and it's horrifying. Yeah, it's paranormal, and it's about a woman who had been terrorized by this entity for I don't know how many months. And it was like in the movie, like she was doing good. She was doing well. She's going to school, going to work, and she was coming home. And after she taking a shower, putting like lotion on her legs, and all of a sudden she was taken advantage of by this entity out of nowhere. And she thought, because the entity put a pillow over her face, and she thought that was actually, a dude who was, on top of her and then ran off. But then it's like, here we go again. My room is shaking. He trying to kill me while I'm driving to the doctor, I think. And then been taking advantage of her. I mean, how many times? Three more times, and one of them is in front of the children, and it's based on they say it's based on actual events. And what I didn't like is the fact the doctor, Dr. Schneiderman, is it Schneider, something like that. I forgot. I don't care, but yeah, it's like he making it seem like she making this up. And I believe, and my theory is that these entities, because it's not just one entity, I believe there's four. Because when she was taking advantage of in front of her children, it seems like there's two grown ones. But when she was taken advantage of in the bathroom, there was like the main entity, and like she said, those two little helpers that's holding her ankles. So I believe there's four. It's and when she had to come face to face when the scientists make this like replica of her house, to have this entity being lured in so they can like freeze it. But when she told the entity, and she knows where the entity is, it's like, you can't have me, you can't touch me because it's mine. That's it, you know, because she's done being afraid after she was taken advantage of the last time. And then the entity was just like busting the freezer, gun, what have you, and you see this thing being frozen. It's like you can see the shoulders and the head, and then it just combust. It's like, dang, it escaped. And then what's so terrifying is that when she about to move out, she was looking into, Carla was looking into, her house, and she looked into her bedroom, and then the door closed, and and the entity was like, "Welcome home. See you next Tuesday." And then she just walked up to the front door, like, "I'm not scared of you," and hold the knob and open the door and just walked out. It's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. You better tell that. You better tell Satan that you some of my biscuit. But I would say that with the incident, I don't mind seeing a remake on of this movie, because there's certain things in this movie that I wish they could done they should have done well on. Like the part where she was taken advantage of again while she was asleep, and she was throwing things around, and this is after, like, days after that she was taken advantage of in front of her children, where one of the entity had harmed her oldest boy, that he was looking at his mom was throwing things around saying, get out, not to him, but, and then he just ran off. It's like, he could have gone in there and say, like, did it happen again? It's like, yeah, he did it again and stuff like that. I mean, I wish there were some scenes that could have been done well on. So if they decided to do a remake, hey, I don't mind it. They doing a remake on this movie, but it has to push that boundary, because yeah, I mean, it pushed a lot of boundaries in this movie, and it is very hard to watch. And the music, when you know the entity is coming or is there, that is horrifying. And I'm just so bummed out that it's not like up there, along with like Poltergeist or any horror movie that came out in 1982, or horror movie in general. Like I said about that horror thing that I saw on Tubi, they didn't talk about it. Yeah, I'm still pissed off about that. So if y'all have watched it, y'all know what I'm talking about. It is crazy. It is crazy. But if y'all haven't, y'all need to go watch it. So that is my number two of my top three favorite underrated horror movie, 1982's The Entity. Coming in at number one of my top three favorite underrated horror movie is 1979's Prophecy. Now, this movie is highly underrated. Now, when you watch it again, yeah, it is silly. It is silly, but the storyline is so good, because it's, in the 70s, horror movies in the 70s, it does deal with psychological horror. So just imagine that you are and you having a camping trip, and all of a sudden you see animals being like, are huge, huge, and deformed, and they just out there to kill anything, and it's all because of what they have eaten. If you eat the fish in the water, your nervous system would be like shot down, or you would give birth to a deformed child. And come to find out that the lake, the pond, or what have you, was contaminated with mercury. And that's where the Native Americans was like complaining about, like, these paper mills, that they are contaminating the lake, and our people are being like, either feel like they drunk. Some of the children had to be put down because what they are eating is harming them. And oh gosh, what's his name, Robert, um who wants to know because when he saw salmon so big that it's bigger than his body, and he see a tadpole not really truly in its actual form as a frog, and seeing the baby bear being deformed, and also the other cub, his brother or sister, It's like something is going on. Something is going on, and realizing that, yeah, it's from the paper mill, it's mercury that's contaminated the whole forest. And then you get this main mama bear who's doing the killing. Now people thought that the scene when the mama bear had just smacked that young boy, where to a point where he hit the boulder, and when he hit it, you see feathers coming up. People thought that was a funny scene. Yeah, it was funny, but the impact, though, come on, that was that. Ooh, ooh, that impact was just. And then towards the end, when the mama bear just knocked that Native American dude who was, have like the bow. Yeah, that mama bear don't play, right? And the scariest scene is them quiet scenes, especially when the mama bear came into like the where the grandfather, have his teepee, what have you, his tent, and they went underground, and it's just so quiet, and then you hear the mama bear just walking around and harming those above, and ooh, ooh. But she got one of them, because one of them decided to peek his head out and then just grab him and just crush his skull or something like that, and then just drop him. And it's just like, but the music, I can't. Ooh, that music is so scary. Yeah, out of all the underrated horror movies that I talked about, yeah, that movie still, kind of like scared the bejesus out of me, because it's them quiet moments. And when I talk about that doctor, whoever he is, about the fence, because I did talk about this, and I've done this for my movie review a while back. The clip is on TikTok and on Instagram. But when that dude didn't go under the fence, like, my gosh. But just the fact that this mama bear is out there in the forest and can kill you. It doesn't matter if you're a kid or not. And you can't even go anywhere by yourself, because it's like, if you do, is it there? Or is it over there? And it's like, you got to take a chance. And then when you see at the end, after everything is all said and done, there's another one. I don't know if that, I don't think that's a bear, but it's another creature. And ooh, ooh, ooh. So that's what's petrifying me, that, if somebody say they want to go camping, hell no. I ain't going camping. Have you seen Prophecy? I ain't doing it. No, I'm not eating the fish. Okay, I don't want to be drunk, and then that explains why Maggie was dizzy, because she ate the fish. Yeah, she was pregnant, but she ate the fish. And when she said, "I'm pregnant," and I ate with the mother of those creatures ate. My baby is deformed, and she wants the baby. She don't want to get rid of her baby. She wants to keep it because she wants a family. And two fun facts, of course, if people didn't know, that Kevin Peter Hall was the mama bear in the movie, the one who play as the predator, and Harry as Harry play as Harry and the Henderson. I'm tired, y'all. And two, this movie came out the same day when Rocky 2 came out. So, what's her name? Talia? I think Talia, something like that. Yeah, she did this and Rocky 2 at the same time. And it came out on June 15th, 1979. Both of them, those two movies did come out at the same time. So, I know people are not a fan of this movie, but like I said, I enjoy movies that mainly people are not a fan of, because I find joy in it. I watch this at night. I don't watch this during the day, because even though I say I'm scared of it, I don't know why I'm watching it. Like the quietness of it all. Oh my gosh, you better run. And I'm looking at, because my neighborhood is filled with trees and woods and whatnot. I'm like, because we see deers. And I'm like, man, I said, if them deers become contaminated and become like, these like zombie like the Last of Us, or no, not the Last of Us, Train to Busan type of animal. Mm-mm. So if y'all haven't seen Prophecy, 1979 Prophecy, I think that you should go watch it. Yes, it is silly of watching it, and you may be laughing, but just take that away, put that aside, and look at it for what it is, and kind of like say, "Dag." I mean, yeah. So let's do a recap, shall we? Coming in at number 3 is 1951's The Thing from Another World. Coming in at number 2 is 1982's The Entity. And coming in at number 1 is 1979's Prophet. So let me know your top 3 favorite underrated horror movies in the comment section below. I would love to read it, and I will see y'all next time with maybe a movie review or maybe another top 3. I don't know. I'll let y'all know. And with a mini review of TV shows, man, I don't even know when they coming on. Like From, Interview with the Vampire with Lestat. Yeah, I don't know. Or Dead City, Daryl Dix. I don't know when they coming on. Okay. I think I've just checked out of doing TV mini reviews. I don't know. Because I like movies more so than I like TV shows. I don't know. But anyway, I will let y'all know, all right? So peace, love, and happiness to all of you. Stay cool, don't be no fool, and use the tool of what? Knowledge. Deuces. Bye. I'm sorry this video is jerky. Blame the laptop.